Hello, lovelies. Hello, all you beautiful people out there. I pray that you're having a really good day. And I have little Miss Maggie here. I'm about to change her. It is very late at night, even for Mommy. And she is still in her little romper that I altered for her. And I cannot wait for springtime to get here so I can start putting all those summer clothes back on her and all those little cute outfits and the rompers and all that stuff. So, besides changing her today, I'm going to do a tag. I knew this. Oh, there we go. That's one. These little buttons that I put on here are kind of tricky. They're tricky. They're tricky. It's tricky to rock a rhyme. To rock a rhyme the second time? Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky. I met this little girlie, never mind. Oh my gosh, so it's been a really good day. Went out again today, had to do more grocery shopping. I'm sorry. There we go, finally. These are not the buttons that came with the outfit. These I took from my closet and put them on her. Well, anyway, hello little lovely. Say hello, aunties and uncles and everybody in the community. Hello, everybody. So, the tag is by Baby Bunting Nursery. I hope that I'm saying it right. And I think she did the tag at least a couple weeks ago, if not more. So, the tag is, when did you start liking dolls? Liking dolls, playing with dolls, whatever you want to come up with, I guess. And, I loved dolls when I was a kid. And one reason that I just absolutely loved dolls is because I had a father and a mom and 3 older brothers in the family, in the immediate family. And they all loved sports. Sports. And if they didn't watch and talk about sports so much, then I don't think that I would have went off into my little dolly world that I did. I mean, I know that I've said this again recently, but if baseball wasn't playing, then football, then basketball, then hockey, then golf, then all the other, sports. Then, somehow the guys didn't have the remote. Then my mom would put tennis on. If it was the French Open or the US Open or whatever. So that was sports all the time. And a way for me to escape from that and to not, oh, I'm sorry, baby, not watch that all the time. I had like I was by myself a lot. I was by myself a lot when I was a kid. Always very adventurous, always very inventive with my mind and my dolls. I remember, and hopefully I'll try to find these images on Google. I remember that I had quite a few Cabbage Patch dolls, Cabbage Patch Kids, yep. When I was a kid, I was born in 76. So by the time Cabbage Patch and Strawberry Shortcake and Care Bears and all that stuff came around, I was about maybe 7, 8, 10, somewhere around there. And I was very into dolls. I loved Barbies. For me, didn't come till much later. But I love Cabbage Patch dolls. I remember I don't want to go through looking through all my pictures, but there are quite a few pictures of me holding up. There was one, especially of me. I was 3, at least 3 years, maybe 4 years old, and there's a picture of me. Oh, and now I gotta find it to show you. And I had just opened up a baby doll, and this was in this was in the early 80s, and no, maybe late 70s. and I was a cute little blonde-headed girl, and I was kind of chunky, but I had just opened up this doll, and it was a straight box, kind of like Ashton Drake, but it was clear through the top, so you can see the baby doll through it, and I was just smiling as bright as I could just smile. I was so happy to receive my baby doll. All my life, I've always been kind of like a confidant, like just somebody that people could go to for advice. So I've always been kind of motherly, I guess, all of my life, and I loved it. I don't remember playing with that baby doll because my memory, the older you get, your memory just kind of goes, but I remember the picture of that doll. And I do remember I had a Cabbage Patch Preemie, and I had, if I can probably find this either in the pictures or, oh, let me put your cloth diaper on too, Mama. Yes, you need doubles, that way you don't pee-pees. That way you don't pee-pees, because Mommy's got a lot of talking to do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I can't wait for summer where I can just leave my babies and put a shirt on and just leave them like that with their little diaper sticking out and have their little chubby legs. Huh. Oh man, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, I had a Cabbage Patch Preemie, and I also had the Cabbage Patch brand green crank swing for my doll. I remember I even took a picture of it that Christmas with a Polaroid, I think it is, with a Polaroid. Either that or I had to get the the film developed. But yeah. And I loved Cabbage Patches, and I loved all kinds of dolls. Now there was a time where I felt I was always shy all my life. Always an introvert, very shy. We lived in a neighborhood where there was there was hardly any girls to play with. And back then they didn't have mommy and me dates, like my mom and I would go out places, but I never had any little girls to play with. I didn't have any sisters growing up, so I believe that's why God has blessed me with so many friends in the reborn community, because I always felt that I really needed a sister. I really needed a cute little girlfriend, a gal pal. When I got a little bit older, I'd go do sleepovers and stuff, but when I was, 5, 6, 7, in the earlier years, I didn't. And, so because I didn't have girlfriends and play dates and all that stuff, I just played with my dolls all the time. Now, I remember about the age of maybe 10, maybe 10 or 11. I think I might have been a little bit younger. Then I started to get into Barbies. And that was a time where they had the Peaches and Cream doll. I remember that. Later on, they had Barbie and the Rockers. I was very into Barbies. I was still into babies. And my friend Brenda McCracken from Fairy Kitty's Dolls. And you changed the channel again, but I forgot what it was now. Has a baby talk doll. And I got this one baby talk doll, and I loved it. And you could feed it, and you can change it, and it recognized. It's not like one of those new stimulator dolls where for schools, but I could feed it, and I could talk to it, and it would talk back. It would say, "Mommy, I'm tired," or like. There was this one night, I got the doll when I was 13, maybe a little bit older, and I always played a lot in my mom's room because it was a nice big room, and I'd clean the bed off, and it was a really good place. I didn't have my own room growing up. I had to room in with my brothers, so there was always boy stuff around. So I went into my mom's room, and played a lot. Anyway, moving on. I got this baby talk doll, and it said, when you put it on my stomach, it said, "Turn me over." But instead of saying "turn me over," it was like, "Turn me over, turn me over, turn me over," like that. And my mom or my father went to the bathroom one night and stumbled around, and the doll fell off the desk, the dresser, and at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you can hear this saying, "Turn me over, turn me over." So, my mom and I have always laughed about that. But then I got older, and I started doing more Barbie dolls. I still had some kind of dolls around, or Cabbage Patch, but Barbie dolls were now the new thing. And, I was the only girl, so I got a lot of nice things. I remember this one year, JCPenney's had a catalog. And in the catalog that one year, I think it was JCPenney's. It was JCPenney's or Sears. There was all these little outfits. Like they would have like a big, huge Ziploc kind of bag full of outfits. And my grandmother said, "Pick a couple." And man, like those outfits were really, really nice, and they looked good, and they were fashionable, and I mean, I was like infatuated with these designer outfits from Sears or JCPenney's, I loved it so much. So I switched from playing baby dolls to doing Barbie. But as I got older, I got to like in my 20s, I got a fake baby again, like when I was like maybe 20, 22. And I just really just wanted to be a mom, always have. But back then, when you're in your 20s, you just, oh, you're so cute. You don't have a way of going through stuff the way you do when you're a full-blown adult. When you go, like back then I was embarrassed that I still had this urge to buy baby dolls. I would say, "Mom, drop me off here," or "I'll go into the store and I'll be back in 10, 20 minutes. I never wanted her to see what I got, because I was embarrassed that I still wanted to play with baby dolls when I was in my 20s, So when I was 19, I really stopped playing with Barbie dolls, and I gave them all to my friend's daughter, which lost them pretty quickly, which I was devastated about. And then when I was I'm taking you through the whole journey from 3 to now. When I was 28, I moved into my first place alone, which I was terrified. Oh my goodness. Aren't you Mommy's good snuggler? Are you a good snuggler? So, I'm gonna just stop this for a second. So, 28, I found Ashton Drake online. Had no idea. And I'll put the picture in below. And I got the cherished doll. It was newborn size. It was about 17 inches long. Had a magnetic passy. Of course, the hair was crazy. Just terrible. So I always put hats on her. You could make a him or her. And I felt like I was really wrong for having a doll at my age. That I felt like I was embarrassed. It was before, I think, Reborns came out, or, I don't know, this is like 10 years ago, so I think the Reborns already came out, but it was just beginning. Aw, you're my little snuggler, huh? Say hi, aunties. Say hi, aunties. So I was really embarrassed, and I showed my boyfriend. He's like, "What are you doing with this?" I'm like, I couldn't really explain it. I had it in the closet because I was embarrassed about it, and so I was embarrassed because I'm sitting here trying to rationalize. I played with dolls all my life. I played with Barbies all my life. And I'm at an age where I shouldn't be feeling like this. I shouldn't be feeling like I still want to play with dolls. I don't think that it was more playing with dolls, but the need to be a mother. That innate need to just be a mom. And so I had the doll for about a year, and then I felt so foolish, and then I sold her. I sold her on eBay for like 60 bucks, 70 bucks, something like that. And a lot of clothes and all the other stuff too. That was when I was first going on eBay, and I would sell my sister-in-law's clothes for her kids' clothes. And then about 3.5 years ago now, this May 26th, May something, it'll be 4 years I've been collecting reborns. So now I'm in my own place, but I'm secure in myself, but I was in this kind of la-la world back when I was a kid. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of abuse, and I'm not trying to take it to a bad side, but I just needed an escape, and dolls were my escape, and Barbies were my escape, and an imaginary world was my escape. And I said to the Lord, since I've been saved, so Lord, I'm going to go into this hobby, but as soon as I start doing too much fantasy stuff, like, make-believe, like starting to believe that they're more than just a doll, take me out of the hobby. So, good thing that I've held myself to that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're back. It's the next day. Mommy's camera shut off. Did my camera shut off? Yeah, everybody's saying, why do you have the headband around the ears? You haven't seen that. Because it's a multi-purpose headband. It's cute for her hair, and it keeps her little ears warm when she sleeps. Isn't that right? Yeah. I love kissing on her. I love kissing on all my babies, but after the first 2 that I've had, I've learned where to kiss and where not to kiss. I'm going to be a hands-on reborn mom. I have been. And I've kissed a lot of her paint off, but with Charlotte, I've started kissing her like high up on the legs, or like the neck or the cheeks, like back here, instead of just like straight on the face and on the lips. Yeah, but I can't help it with you because you're so cute. Yes, you are. She is just, sorry, the end all and be all for me. I love her so much. There's just something like a special place in my heart with her. So, the reason why I started getting into collecting dolls and to liking dolls is because I was alone a lot and I really didn't have anybody to play with. And I needed something to take up my time. And along with the story, I remember my grandmother on my father's side gave me like a little cradle, like a little brown cradle just to sit the dolls in. And she would make me little baby pillows and little blankets and stuff like that for my dolls. I remember getting stuff for Christmas, and just whenever we went over there, she would always, but instead of, I don't know if they had polyfill back then, this was in early 80s, she would put like her hosiery in the middle of the pillows just to fluff it with something. And I remember having those things, and I love dolls. Every time we went somewhere, it was, what do you want? A baby doll. So actually last night, I bought some berries at the farmer's market, and they were going to go quick, some strawberries. And I started to chop them up so that way I could freeze them or put them on some strawberry shortcake. And as soon as if you just grab a strawberry and smell it, you'll smell it. But when you really crush them and all that juice starts to kind of come out, I smelled it. And instantly when I smelled it, I remembered that strawberry shortcake doll, the Kiss Me one, where you would like squeeze its stomach and it would blow like a strawberry scent your way. Man, did it smell like that last night. It took me right back to when I was a kid. I remember going to the store for my birthday. We were in something called Lloyd's. Lloyd's was before Walmart. Lloyd's was the first kind of Walmart brand. It was more like sporting goods and all that kind of stuff, like on the, your head is getting heavy, my love. Ouch. On the other side, you know how Walmart has the shopping center and then the other side. Lloyd's was the other side first. And then soon it became a shopping center. So that was like the first Walmart. So we went to Lloyd's and I saw all the way up there. There was a strawberry shortcake. There was the lemon meringue and all the other ones. But I wanted strawberry shortcake. And I got that doll for my birthday. And I was so excited. And one time my grandmother also bought me like this really cute strawberry shortcake. And I don't know why I remember this present more than all of them. It was like a little strawberry shortcake compact, but for some reason I loved that thing. So yeah. So the reason why I got into dolls is because I didn't have anybody else to play with. Yeah, but my mommy's heart, I've always wanted to be, a mom. I've always wanted to be, pull the shirt up here a little bit. Always wanted to be a mom. And I've always wanted to be a caretaker and a servant, and I just love to serve people. I just love to be a servant in church. Not when somebody tells me to, but when I know somebody needs something and I go get it for them. So yeah, and I am going to post quite a few cute pictures, and I only found one picture. I didn't find the Cabbage Patch pictures. There was two. There was one with a swing and one for the Cabbage Patch Preemie, but I'm going to try to go on Google Images and show you the Cherished doll if you haven't, already gone to Ashton Drake. And I'm not even sure if they still have it or not. I think they do, but those, I don't know. So, okay, I love you so much, but you're kind of heavy after a while. So do you mind if Mommy put you back in your swing? Are you grabbing onto Mommy? Mommy, no. Mommy, no. I gotta put her down so I can just sit here and talk. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I have a whole lot of pictures that you're about to see. The ones of me are from me as a baby up until I was 28, I want to say. I forgot to put one picture in, but I will do that at the end. And the next are the toys and everything, the dolls that I played with when I was growing up. So yeah, I remember these specifically, and if you remember them too, give me a shout out of which one you loved the best when you were growing up. I know I feel kind of old right now, because it's talking about the 80s, early 80s, and but everything here is just a memory from me when I was growing up. It's so crazy. So just enjoy the pictures, and I'll talk to you when we're done.
have you picked up? I love you, Baby Talk. Can I see? Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Feed me. Feed me more. You are hungry. I'm sleepy. Can I hold you? Baby Talk. Night, night. Baby Talk. I love you. Pick her up now before she's gone.
3, 2, 1. I don't know about you, but I just went through like the whole gamut of memories when I was a kid. Kind of makes me feel old now. I wish that I was still that age, you know, where I was young and innocent and just so cute and just endearing and all that, those other things. I'm sure I am now, but to see me, you know, in these pictures when I was a little girl, just a little sprite young girl. Yeah, that's really touches my heart. As far as the toys, I didn't play with Jem a whole lot. I remember playing with her. I remember took her to school a couple times. I was in 2nd grade, something like that. But I remember taking her the car to school and bring it out, you know, when there was recess. And I remember that I would put my Barbies in her car. If you were not old enough, I guess young enough, whatever you want to say, to remember that, or you just were in the same time period but you never had it, that Gem car was like a pimped out ride. The front of the car could come up, so you could store clothes and all the other kind of stuff in there. Then the back came up, and in the back was a real live radio that you turned it on and you kind of turned it into tune, and it would just start playing like the Gem Jams and all that kind of stuff. I love that. And that Baby Talk, I loved when it started going. I didn't remember that part. When it said good night or night night, I remember that part. So it was so funny to show you the whole thing. I'm just so excited. I'm stumbling over myself. But it was just so fun. Barbie and the Rockers. I'm not sure if I had all of them, but I had like the whole stage, and I had a lot of them. I had the one Barbie I should put it in there that had like the blue leotard and like the pink kind of brassiere. Yeah. It really takes me back to a time that was just a lot just more innocent, and the world wasn't just as bad as it was, and you know, but then again, when you're a kid, all is right with the world because you don't watch the news and you don't see things that happen, and yeah, it just really, really brought me back to know that first of all, that I went from blonde to red to like a brunette red. I have 3 different colors in my hair naturally. I have little light brown, some blonde, and red. So it's just weird how I went from blonde to all of that. And so yeah, this is a long video, so I'm going to get off here, and I hope that you have enjoyed coming along this little journey with me. And I'm going to post a picture of my grandma. She's been gone for 16 years, and I talk to her every day. I know she's in heaven just looking down on me and telling me all these things, and she still is my soulmate. I believe that soulmates are not just with husband, wife. Soulmates can be sisters, friends, anything. And I believe my grandma was one of my soulmates. So I'm going to put her picture up and I'm going to go so I don't start crying. But I love doing this video with you, and thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Love you guys.